Very good evening. SSLC Science passing package or scoring package. Very important uses of chemical compounds today we are going to discuss. So let's start. First one, sodium carbonate, that's also called as a washing soda. Its formula Na2CO3. Then uses of washing soda C. It is used in glass, soap and paper industry. It is used in manufacture of sodium compounds such as borax. It is used in removing a permanent hardness of water. It can be used as a cleansing agent for domestic purposes. Next one, sodium hydrogen carbonate. That's called as a baking soda and its formula Na2HCO3. Then as an ingredient in antacids, used in soda acid fire extinguisher, used in preparation of baking powder. Then next one, calcium oxychloride bleaching powder, okay, CaOCl2, used for bleaching of cotton and linen in textile industry, wood pulp in paper factories and washed cloths in laundry. Okay, then next one, used to make a drinking water free from germs, used as an oxidizing agent in many chemical industries. Then uses of plaster of Paris, POP, its formula CaSO4 into half H2O. So let's see. Used by doctors to support fractured bones, used for making toys, decorative materials, used to make a surface smooth. Then next one, products of chlor-alkali process. Chlorine. Okay, chlorine is used in the water treatment and also treatment of swimming pool water. Then in the preparation of PVC, polyvinyl chloride, it is also used as a disinfectant. Okay, and whatever chlor-alkali process byproduct chlorine available, that chlorine is used in the preparation of CFC, chlorofluorocarbon and pesticides. Next one, hydrogen. Hydrogen used as a fuels, margarine, ammonium for fertilizers. Okay. The next one, sodium hydroxide, NaOH. Okay. What it is used in environments. It is degreasing metals, soaps and detergents. In the preparation of soaps and detergents, it's used. Degreasing of metals, sodium hydroxide is used. In paper industry, making artificial fibers, okay, sodium hydroxide is used. Then next one, in this one only we are going to discuss some important concepts to focus on. What are those? Characteristics of field lines. Field lines arise from north pole and end into south pole of the magnet. Second one, the direction of field lines inside the bar magnet is from south to north. Field lines are closed curves. Field lines never intersect each other. These are very, very important because alternative year they ask this question for 2 marks. That's why this question is VVIMP. Okay, keep in mind. Then what field lines never intersect each other, they ask in give reason. At the point of intersection, two directions of the same magnetic field is not possible, that's why they not intersect. Then next question, factors on which resistance of a conductor depend. Okay, see then, the cross sectional area of the conductor, length of the conductor, the temperature of the conductor, nature of the material of the conductor. These are the what some factors which what are responsible for conduction. Then overloading. When a live wire and neutral wire come into direct contact, current in the circuit increases heavily and causes overload. Then next, prevention of overloads. Fuse is safety device which prevents the electric circuits and appliances from overloading short circuit. Then precautions to be taken to avoid overload of a domestic electric circuit. Avoid connecting too many appliances to a single socket and use of a fuse. Okay, these are the precautions. The next one, earthing. Earthing, functioning of a earth wire. Earth wire provides a low resistance to conducting path to the current. It ensures a leakage of a current in metallic body and keeps its potential to earth. Thus, the user may not get a severe electric shock. The next one, heating effect of a electric current. Joule's law of heating. According to this law, heat produced in a resistor is directly proportional to square of the current, its resistance, time for which the current flows through the resistor. This is called as a Joule's law of heating. Very, very important. Maximum every time they asked this one. Which one? Joule's law of huh, Joule's law of heating. So very important. H is equal to I square RT. H is equal to I square RT. Applications of heating effect of electric current. It is used in electric iron, then a toaster, oven, heater, etc. It is used to produce light in the case of bulb. It is used in fuse in electric circuit. The next one, advantages of a tungsten in making electric bulb. Tungsten has high resistivity, high melting point. Then potential difference V. It is the work done to move a unit charge from one point to another. SI unit of what SI unit is volt. Then parts of a human eye and their function. Cornea. Light enters the eye through a thin membrane called cornea. Iris. Iris controls the size of the pupils. Then pupil. Pupil regulates and controls the amount of light entering the eye. Eye lens. Eye lens forms an inverted image of the object on the retina. Retina is a delicate membrane having a light sensitive cells. Image of an object is formed on retina. Uses of concave mirrors. Commonly used in torches, searchlights, and vehicle headlights. Used as a shaving mirrors. Used by dentists to see larger image of teeth. Used to concentrate sunlight to produce a heat in solar furnaces. Uses of a convex mirror. Used as a review mirror in vehicles to get a erect image and a wider field of a view. Mechanism function of human eye. The reflected light from the object focused on the retina. The light sensitive cells get activated and generate electrical signals. An inverted image is formed on the retina. The signals sent to the brain through optic nerve. The brain interprets the signals, enable us to see the objects. Power of accommodation of human eye. The ability of eye lens adjust its focal length is called accommodation of eye. When the ciliary muscles are relaxed, the lens become thin, thus its focal length increases and enable to see a distant objects. When the ciliary muscles contract, the lens become thick, thus its focal length decreases and enable to see nearby objects. It's a very important accommodation of eye. Several times they asked in exam. That's why keep in mind this is a very important. Okay. Then next, stars appear twinkling. This is also very important question. Stars appear to twinkle due to atmospheric refraction. The light of a star after the entry of light in Earth's atmosphere, the atmospheric refraction occurs in a medium of gradually changing refractive index. Since the stars are very distant, they are approximately point-sized source of a light. As the path of rays of light coming from the stars goes on varying slightly, the apparent position of the star fluctuates and the amount of starlight entering the eye flickers. The stars sometimes appear brighter and at some times fainter, which is the twinkling effect. Very important question it's a. Then planets do not twinkle. Okay, only one or two times they asked this question, but see the answer. The planets are much closer to the earth and are the seen as a extended sources. If we consider the planet is a collection of large number of point sources of light, the amount of light entering the eye from all point size light sources is 0. Due to this effect of a twinkling is nullified. The next one, sun appears reddish early in the morning. When the sun is near the horizon, most of the blue light scattered by atmospheric particles, whereas red light with a longer wavelength scatter least. The red light reaches our eye and give rise to reddish appears of the sun. This is also very important question. Color of clear sky blue. Why? When a sunlight enters the atmosphere, blue light with a shorter wavelength scatter more than red light with a longer wavelength. The scattered blue light enters our eye, thus causing a blue color of the clear sky. Then the sky appears dark instead of a blue to an astronaut. Why? They ask. As an astronaut flying at very high altitudes, scattering of light is not prominent at such a heights. That's why sky appears dark instead of a blue to an astronaut. Signal light is red in color. Red scatters least by smoke and fog. That's why signal light is a red in color. Our ambulance, our police sirens, all are red in color. Why? Because red light scatter least. Tyndall effect, very important question. The phenomenon of scattering of light by the colloidal particles give rise to Tyndall effect. Then rainbow formation. This is also very important concept. It is the spectrum of sunlight formed due to dispersion of sunlight by tiny water droplets which acts as a prism. Three phenomena of light are involved in rainbow formation. First one, A, refraction and dispersion. Second one, total internal reflection. Then third one, refraction. Then advanced sunrise and delayed sunset. Sunrise appears to us about 2 minutes before and sunrise, okay, and 2 minutes after sunset. This is because the atmospheric refraction. When the light is below the horizon, the sun must pass through the rarer medium to denser medium, hence rays bends towards the normal. Newton's experiment shows sunlight made up of with 7 colors. Newton passed light through a glass prism. He found spectrum of light, but he could not get any more colors. He then placed the second prism inverted position with respect to first prism and allowed colors of spectrum pass through the second prism. He found different colors of a spectrum of light. By this experiment, Newton comes to conclusion that sunlight made up of with 7 colors. Effect of oxidation in daily life. Corrosion, the phenomenon due to which metals form a layer of hydrated oxide by reaction with moisture in atmosphere is called as corrosion. Prevention of corrosion. Corrosion can be prevented by painting, galvanization, anodizing, making alloys, oiling, greasing. Rusting, the phenomenon due to which iron forms a layer of ferric oxide by reaction with moisture in atmosphere is called rusting. Rust, Fe2O3 into 2H2O. Okay, then rancidity, oxidation of fats and oils when exposed to air resulting foul smell is called rancidity. Out of these four, one must come in your exam for 1 mark. Then rancidity can be prevented by adding antioxidants, packing food items with nitrogen, refrigeration. Then rancidity. Oil containing food left over for a long time change their taste and smell is called rancidity. Methods of prevention of rancidity: storing food in airtight containers, storing food in refrigerators, nitrogen flushed in chips bags, adding antioxidants. Then corrosion, when a metal is attacked by a substance around it such as a moisture, acid, etc., it is said to corrode and this process is called corrosion. Example, rusting of iron. Iron plus moisture plus oxygen is called rust, brownish in color. Copper plus moist, okay, then a copper dioxide, copper carbonate, it's also called as a, then a green coat is formed. Silver plus sulfur in air, silver sulfide, black coat. The neutralization reaction, when an acid and base react to give salt and water, is called neutralization reaction. Example, hydrochloric acid reacts with sodium hydroxide. It gives a sodium chloride with respect to water. It's called as a neutralization reaction. Then acid presents in some natural substances. Nettle leaves methanoic acid, curd and milk lactic acid, sour fruits citric acid, tamarind tartaric acid, tomato oxalic acid. Then pH scale. Strength of a acid or base, it's called as a pH scale. It is the scale used for measuring hydrogen ions concentration. If the pH value is in between 0 to 7, then the medium is acidic. If the pH value is between 7 to 14, the medium is basic. If the pH value is exact 7, then that medium or solution neutral. Properties of ionic compounds, very important. Ionic compounds are solids and are somewhat hard. Ionic compounds have a high melting and boiling points. Ionic compounds are generally soluble in water and insoluble in solvents such as kerosene, petrol, etc. They are good conductor of electricity. Ionic compounds in the solid state do not conduct electricity because movement of ions in the solid is not possible due to their rigid structure. But ionic compounds conduct electricity in the molten state because in molten state ions move freely to conduct electricity. Then importance of pH in everyday life. If a pH of a rainwater is less than 5.6, it is called acid rain. It causes a damage to monuments and buildings. Plants require a specific pH range for their healthy growth. Then pH in our stomach. Our stomach produces a hydrochloric acid. It helps in the digestion of food. During the ingestion, the stomach produces too much acid and this causes pain and irritation. To get rid of this pain, people use bases called antacids like a magnesium hydroxide or milk of magnesia. Then antacid neutralizes the excess acid. pH changes causes tooth decay. Tooth decay starts when the pH of the mouth is lower than 5.5. This pH causes tooth enamel to corrode. Prevention of a tooth decay. Clean the mouth after eating food. Using a toothpaste for cleaning the teeth. Toothpastes are basic in nature. They neutralizes the excess acid and prevent tooth decay. pH in chemical warfare. Bee sting leaves an acid which causes a pain and irritation. Use of a mild base like a baking soda on the stung area gives relief. Stinging hair of the nettle leaves inject methanoic acid causing a burning pain. Methods of asexual reproduction in organisms. Binary fission. Parent cells divide into two daughter cells. Example amoeba. Multiple fission. Parent cells divide into many cells. Example plasmodium. Then fragmentation. The organism breaks up into many pieces upon maturation. Each piece develops into new individual. Example Spirogyra. Regeneration. If an organism is somehow cut or broken into many pieces, each piece grows into a complete organism. Example Planaria. The next budding, a bud is formed in which develops into tiny individuals, detaches from parent's body. Example Hydra yeast. Spore formation. Here the new individuals developed from the spores which are found in sporangia. Example Rhizopus. Vegetative propagation. The development of plants from vegetative parts like a root system and leaves, etc. Advantages of vegetative propagation. It is used in methods such as a layering or grafting of plants like a sugar cane, roses and grapes. The plants raised by vegetative propagation bear flowers and fruits earlier than those produced from seeds. Helpful in the production of plants who lost the capacity to produce seeds. Plants produced by this method are genetically similar to the parent plant. Placenta, structure of placenta, it contains a villi on the side of the embryo. It contains blood spaces on the mother's side which surrounded by villi. Function of placenta, the embryo gets nutrition from the mother's blood. Placenta transports glucose and oxygen from mother embryo, removes waste from embryo into mother's blood. Male reproductive system, testis, produces sperms and secretes testosterone. Vas deferens, delivers sperms to urethra. Prostate glands and seminal vesicles secrete a fluid for easy transport of sperms and provides nutrition to the developing sperm. Penis helps in the ejaculation of sperms into the female body. Scrotum maintains temperature lower than the body temperature required for the formation of sperm. Female reproductive system, ovary produce female germ cells or eggs. Fallopian tube, they carry egg from ovary to womb. Uterus helps in the growth and development of embryo into fetus. Contraceptive methods, very important, avoid pregnancy. Mechanical barriers, they prevent the meeting of sperm with egg, example condoms or coverings worn in the vagina. Oral pills, they change the hormonal balance of the body, so eggs are not released and fertilization does not occur. It has side effect due to hormonal imbalance. Loop or copper T, they are placed in uterus to prevent pregnancy. They cause side effects due to irritation of the uterus. Surgical methods, here fertilization is prevented by blocking gamete transport in male. Vas deferens is blocked to prevent sperm transfer. In female, fallopian tube is blocked to prevent the egg reaching the uterus. Changes occur in the female reproductive system if egg is fertilized. If egg is fertilized, the egg starts dividing and forms an embryo. Lining of uterus thick and spongy, supplied with rich blood. The embryo is implanted in the lining of the uterus where its growth into fetus. Placenta nourishes the embryo by provide the nutrients and oxygens in growing period. The next one, changes occur in female reproductive system if egg is not fertilized. Okay, first case we discussed egg is fertilized. If egg is not fertilized, that's a menstrual cycle. Okay, it lives for about 1 day. The thick and spongy lining of uterus slowly breaks and comes out through the vagina as a blood and mucus. This cycle takes place roughly every month and is known as menstrual cycle. Then blood vessels and their functions. Arteries, they carry blood away from the heart towards the cells of the body. The arteries have a thick elastic walls. Here walls are absent where in blood vessels. Then veins, they collect the blood from different organs and bring back to the heart. They have no thick walls. Here walls are present. The next one, capillaries, the smallest vessel having a wall which are one cell thick, they are called capillaries. Its help in exchange of material between blood and surrounding cells takes place. Lymph, it carries a digested and absorbed fat from intestine. It drains excess fluid from extracellular space back into the blood. Then blood cells and their function. Plasma, plasma transport food, carbon dioxide and nitrogenous waste in a dissolved form. RBC helps in transport of oxygen. Okay, then platelets helps in clotting of blood. Methods of excretion in plants, excrete oxygen as well as carbon dioxide through stomata. They get rid of excess water by transpiration. Some wastes are stored in dead cells and cellular vacuoles and leaves that fall off. Some waste products are stored as resins and gums, especially in old xylem. Plants also excrete some waste substances into the soil around them. The next one, role of decomposers in ecosystem. The decomposers, fungus or bacteria, break down complex organic substances into simple organic substances that go into the soil and are again used by plants. Biomagnifications are biological magnification. When a non-biodegradable substance like pesticides enter the food chain through plants or water, concentration of harmful chemicals is increasing from one trophic level to another. This phenomena is called biomagnification. Two ways in which non biodegradable substances would affect our environment. Excess use of pesticides and fertilizers runoff with rainwater causes water and soil pollution. Excess use of plastics and detergents leads to the water and soil pollution. Flow of energy is unidirectional in a food chain. Justify, they asked. The energy captured by autotrophs does not reverse to environment. Energy captured by herbivores does not reverse to autotrophs. Hence, the flow of energy is unidirectional in a food chain. Why do chain Why why food chain contains a maximum 3 to 4 trophic levels? There is a great loss of energy to environment and very little people of energy available to next trophic level. Okay, function of a ozone layer. Ozone at the higher levels of the atmosphere shield the earth surface from the dangerous multiviolet UV additional from the sun. UV radiation causes harmful effects such as skin cancer. Formation of ozone layer. As the higher leaves of the atmosphere, the higher energy UV radiation splits some O2 into free oxygen O atoms. They combine with O2 to form the ozone O3. Okay, O2 UV rays O plus O, then O plus O2 gives rise to O3. Then ozone depletion. It is due to chemicals like chlorofluorocarbons. Chlorofluorocarbons are produced while using refrigerators and in fire extinguishers. Effects of ozone depletion. If ozone layer is depleted, UV radiations from the sun reach the earth surface, causes skin cancers and cataract in human beings. Sex determination in human beings, very important, very important. In human beings, the sex is genetically determined. Among 23 pair of chromosomes, one pair called sex chromosomes are the always a perfect pair. Women have a perfect pair of sex chromosomes, both called XX. Men have a mismatched pair X and Y. All children inherit an X chromosome from their mother regardless of their sex. The sex of the child depends on whether the parental of father chromosome is X for girls and Y for boys. Hence, the sex of a child determined by the father. Father XY, mother XX. Okay, then genes they given. If we make a checkerboard, capital X, that's a female. Then capital X, that's a female. 50% probability of a female child. Then 50% male female. Then again again 50% probability male child, that's XY. Breakdown of glucose by various pathways. Okay, glucose 6 carbon atom molecule in cytoplasma, it undergo a reaction and it converted into pyruvate 3 carbon atom molecule plus energy. Then this pyruvate undergo absence of oxygen in yeast, ethanol and carbon dioxide, energy 2 carbon molecule, less amount of energy is released. Lack of oxygen in our muscle cells, lactic acid and energy. Because of a lack of oxygen in our body, lactic acid is formed. It produces a high pain. Okay, that's why it's important. The next one, presence of oxygen, carbon dioxide, water, and energy. Okay, in where in mitochondria. This is the common process in all human beings and animals. Formation of a compounds by transfer of electrons. Okay, magnesium, its electronic configuration 2A2, then magnesium plus 2 and 2E. That's balanced. How some peoples they are asking me how to draw what dot structure. Then see here how they drawn. In outermost cell how many electrons are accepted, how many electrons are donated. Based on that, mixing those both cards, what we have to do, we have to write a dot structures. The next one, Mendel's experiment of inheritance of traits. Inheritance of one trait, phenotypic parents. In that genotype and gametes are there. Pure tall, capital T, pure dwarf, small t. If we make a cross pollination, okay, then capital T, small t, all hybrid tall plants are there in F1 generation. Then selfing of F1 hybrid. Okay, again we have to sow the seeds and we get new seeds in next season. Those seeds are sown. Then in that generation, what happens? Four type of plants are available. That's a tall, capital T, small t, it's a medium, and capital T, small t, that's also medium. Then small t, that's a dwarf, but they are but what happened here, based on checkerboard, okay, 3:1 ratio will arise. So what happened, F1 generation, in F1 generation, what we get here, all 1 minute. In F1 generation we get all tall hybrid plants. Then in F2 generation we got what I get rid of four type of plants. That's a pure tall, mixed, two impure tall, and one dwarf. That's why phenotypic ratio 3:1, 3 tall, 1 dwarf. And then genotypic ratio 1:2:1, 1 pure tall, 2 hybrid tall, 1 pure dwarf. Then inheritance of two separate traits. Okay, then this is a dihybrid cross, capital R, small y, small r, capital Y. Gametes are here. From out of these gametes, capital R, small y one arise, and from another one side, small r, capital I. Okay, then in F1 generation we make a cross pollination, and whatever we get the seeds, we sow the seeds in next season. Then we get these results in F1 generation. What are those? Round yellow means capital R, capital Y, small y. Then again these seeds are sown for next generation. We get what checkerboard. That's four types of plants are available: capital R, capital Y, capital R, small r, capital Y, small r, small y. Okay, like this sequence arises. Okay, those are gametes. And then if we make a cross checkerboard, like these structures will available here. A ratio of plants obtained in F2 generation, that's a phenotypic ratio, is 9:3:3:1, 9:3:3:1. And genotypic ratio is 1:2:1:4:2:1:2:1. This is the genotypic ratio of EF2 generation. Then defects of a vision. Defects of a vision, myopia. Meaning, a person with myopia can see nearby objects clearly but cannot see distant object distinctly. Reason: far point is nearer than infinity, excessive curvature of the eye lenses, elongation of the eyeball. Then correction: usage of a concave lens of a suitable power. Then hypermetropia: a person with hypermetropia can see a distant objects clearly but cannot see nearby object distinctly. The near point is further away from the normal near point, that's 25 centimeter. The focal length of the eye lens is too long, the eyeball has come too small. Usage of a convex lens of appropriate power. Then presbyopia, the power of accommodation of the eye usually decreases with aging. The near point gradually recedes away. Then diminishing flexibility of the eye lens, gradual weakening of the ciliary muscles. Then usage of a bifocal lens of appropriate power. Then cataract, what partial or complete loss of a vision. The crystalline lens of a peoples of old age becomes milky or cloudy. Then cataract surgery. Cataract surgery. Okay, up to now whatever we discussed, those are very important. Then endocrine glands I already discussed with you. Okay, then endocrine glands, these are all other things whatever are there we have to discuss in next clip. Okay, thank you so much.